Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic today is all about strategic management and project selection. In this chapter, strategy is defined as making decision how the organization will compete its rivals in the industry where it is participating. Therefore, strategy is about making careful choices that show how a business will compete with others in its field. It includes knowing the competition, using the business trends, and adjusting to market changes for lasting success. By focusing on this part, business can build a strong plan that improve its place in the industry. A project converts strategy into a new product, service, and process. Hence, it is vital for the success of a project to be parallel with strategic goals of the organization. And so, the project manager should therefore a very good understanding on the strategy and mission being implemented by the organization. So we all know that project have a specific goal and defined timeline to achieve that goal. Sabi dito, when it comes to alignment of the project or in order for a project to be successful, it must also align with the organization's strategic goals. This means that the project should contribute to achieving the organization broader objectives. Project manager is the individual responsible for planning, executing, and closing the project. The project manager is must have a deep understanding of the organization's strategic and mission. This knowledge allows the project manager to ensure that the project remains focused and aligned with what the organization aims to achieve. So that's how the relationship of project manager, and organizational strategies work. Okay, so moving forward to project management maturity. Project management maturity is the progressive advancement of project and multi-project management proficiency in approach, methodology, strategy, and decision-making process. The appropriate level of maturity will differ for every organization based on its definite goals, strategies, resource capabilities, scope, and needs. So, project management maturity is about evolving and improving project management skills and processes. Project management maturity shows how well an organization handles its projects. It gets better over time as the organization improves its methods. The right level of maturity is different for each organization, of course, and based on their goals and situation. Knowing these ideas helps organizations see their current level and find ways to improve their project management skills. So in project management maturity, we have a pyramid format. Pyramid format is a genetic model that shows the progression in project management maturity. This project maturity model reflects that maturity is a continuous process of improvement via identifiable incremental steps. So we have here the pyramid. The pyramid shows a three level of project maturity of no wait this pyramid shows three levels of project management maturity. We have here the low maturity, moderate maturity, and high maturity, which also described as bottom level, the low maturity, middle level, the moderate maturity, and top level, the high maturity. In low maturity, the characteristic of this are ad hoc processes, no common language, and little organizational support. So the implications of this level is the project management is unstructured and inconsistent. In moderate maturity, the characteristic of this are defined practices, training programs, and organization support. Therefore, the implication of this level is process are most consistent and employees are trained. So in the high level, top level, or the high maturity, the characteristic of this are institutionalize six continuous improvement. So therefore, the characteristic of this are the project management is part of the organizational cultural and always improving. This image uh, is a sample of project management maturity. This refers to how development and organization project and multi-project management capabilities are. So in summary, this model helps organization assess and improve their project management capabilities, moving from moving from low to high maturity allows for better project outcomes, more efficiency, and adaptability over time. All right, so moving forward for the project selection and models. Project selection is the process of appraising a project or groups of project and afterward deciding to execute some of them in order to realize the objective of the organization. It is a first process to appraise each project proposal and decide on the premier priority project or projects for more analysis. Usually, stakeholders who would benefit from the project, management, and the project manager are part of the project selection process. Project selection follows a four-stage process, namely the identification of project, evaluation and prioritizing project, selection and initiation of project, and review of project. So project selection is a very important step in the management of project within an organization. It involves assessing various project proposals to determine which one align best with the organization's goals and should be pursued further. Here's the detail. Here's the detail. The the identify project that supports the strategy, evaluate and prioritize project, select and initiate project, and lastly, review project regularly. Project selection is not a random choice. It follows a structured approach, often divided into four main stages. So, in identify project that support the strategy, this is the initial stage where potential projects are identified. This could involve brainstorming session, gathering ideas from stakeholders, and or responding to market needs. So from identify project to evaluate and prioritize project is once projects are identified, they need to be assessed based on various criteria, such as cost, potential benefits, risk, and alignment with organizational goals. This evaluation helps prioritize project determining which one should be considered first based on their importance and feasibility. So in selection, or select and initiate project is after prioritizing, the organization selects the project that will move forward. This decision often involves discussions among stakeholders, including those who will benefit from the project, management, and the project manager. Initiation includes the formal approval of the project and the allocation of necessary resources. So lastly, the review project regularly. This is the final stage. Involves ongoing assessment of the selected projects. It ensures that they continue to align with the organization's objectives and allows for adjustment if necessary. Regular reviews help determine if the project are on track or if any changes need to be made.
These are the example of the non-numeric models project selection. We can see here in the table 3, we have 3 columns. In these 3 columns, we have the model, definition, and sample application. So let's get started. Number 1 is the sacred cow. It is a project recommended by a senior and influential official in the organization, or what we call sacred, in this sense that it will be maintained until successfully concluded, or until the boss personally identifies the idea as a failure and terminates it. The sample application of this is undeveloped idea for a new product, for the development of a new market, for the design and adaptation or adoption of a global database and information system, or for some other projects requiring an investment of the firm's resources. Number 2, the operating necessity. The definition: the project is obligatory in order to keep the system operating, does not necessitate a great extent of formal evaluation. The sample application is a protective dike if a flood is threatening the plants of a factory. Online library search system. Number 3, competitive necessity. Definition: the choice to embark on the projects is founded on a desire to preserve the company's competitive position in that market. The sample application is restructure undergraduate and graduate programs due to declining student enrollment and the need to create stronger programs to attract students. Number 2, modernize manufacturing facility. And number 3 is get a computer numerically controlled machine to replace the old milling machine or mill tama. Number 4, product line extension. Definition: a product to develop and distribute new products evaluated on the level to which it fits the firm's present product line, fills a gap, strengthens a weak link, or extends the line in a fresh, adventurous direction. The sample application: the new Apple's iPad, which also plays video. And number 5 is the comparative benefit model. Definition: often used to select from a list of projects that are complex, difficult to assess, and often non-comparable the one which the most benefit to the firm is selected. Sample application: selection of company cars. Realism: the model should reflect real-world decision-making by considering company goals, constraints like capital, resources, or technology, and risk technical, financial, and market-related. Number 2. Capability: it must handle multiple times period, simulate various internal and external scenarios like strikes, economy shifts, and help optimize project selection based on key risk and constraints. Number 3. Flexibility: the model should adapt easily to change in the firm's environment, such as tax law, technology, or company goals. Number 4. Ease of use: it should be simple to understand, quick to use, and not require rare data, specialized tools, or excessive personnel. Number 5. Cost effectiveness: the cost of using the model, like data collection, processing, must be low compared to the potential benefit of selecting the right project. Number 6. Computerization: it should easily work with standard computer programs and decision support system, allowing efficient data storage and analysis. This is the example of payback period. The formula is payback period is equal to initial investment divided by annual cash inflow. For example, Mr. Juan invests 120,000 and the annual inflow of that is 30,000 each year. So to get the 120,000, we need 4 years. Why? Because in the equation, the 120,000 divided by 30,000 is equal to 4, which is it is 4 years. The investment is recovered in 4 years, except this is within your target recovery time. Next is the internal rate of return, or IRR. The formula of this discount rate that makes like 0 is equal to RT divided by 1. The 1 here is given plus R to the raise of T minus CO, or the example of this, Mr. Juan initial investment is 100,000 in the company and the cash inflow is 40,000 per year for 3 years. To solve this, 0 is equal to 40,000 divided by 1 plus R to the raise of 1 plus 40,000 divided by 1 plus R to the second raise of 2 plus 40,000 divided by 1 plus R to the raise of 3 minus 100,000, which is the initial investment. Let us try if the IRR is equal to 11.79% by trial and error using Excel or financial calculator. Let us say in year 1 we have the cash inflow of 40,000 divided by 1.1179 is equal to 35,786. In the year 2, 40,000 divided by 1.1179 to the raise of 2, or as simply as, if we can calculate it, 40,000 divided by 1.1179 and the equal and also divided by 1.1179 and the equal is 32,010. In year 3, 40,000 divided by 1.1179 to the third raise. Ibig sabihin nito is, i-divide natin siya ng makatatlo, and the answer is 28,203. The NFB is 35,786 plus 32,010 plus 28,203 is equal to 95,999. And let it minus to 100%, and the NPB is 0. So in conclusion, the IRR of 11.79% is acceptable, not unless, because we can, if IRR is not closer to 0, it's the project or the investment will be will be rejected. But if the IRR is closer to 0, is acceptable. The net present value, or NPV. For example, the initial investment is 100,000, the cash inflow is 40,000 in year 1, in year 2 is 50,000, and in year 3 is 30,000. The discount, let us say the discount rate is 10% or 0.10. The solution, 40,000 divided by 1 plus 0.10 plus 50,000 divided by 1 plus 0.10 to the raise of 2 plus 30,000 divided by 1 plus 0.10 the third power minus 100. Let us say 40,000 divided by 1.10 is 36,363.64. In year 2, 50,000 divided by 1.10 divided by 1.10. Kasi nga, second raise siya, or makadalawang modified, is equal to 41,322.31. In year 3, 30,000 divided by 1.10 divided by 1.10 divided by 1.10. Kasi nga, makatatlo natin siya ma-divide because of the year 3, or the raise of 3 is equal to 22,539.34. Now add the 36,363.64 plus 41,322.31 plus 22,539.34 minus 100 is equal to 100,225.29 minus the initial investment of 100,000. The remaining is equal to 225.29. It means the project is slightly profitable kasi naging profit mo itong 225 225.29 for 3 years. Now we will proceed to the benefit cost ratio or BCR. The formula is this. BCR is equal to present value of benefits or PVB divided by present value of cost. Example, the present value of benefits is 100,224.63 and the present value of cost is 100,000. 100,224.63 divided by 100,000 is equal to 1.00225. The explanation for this, if BCR is greater than 1, the project is acceptable benefit outweighed cost. If the BCR is equal to 1, kumbaga equal siya, break even, marginally or marginally acceptable. But if the BCR is less than 1, the project is rejected. It is because the cost exceeds to benefits. In this case, or in our example, BCR is slightly above 1, so the project is feasible through marginally, or we can call it is profitable, slightly profitable.
We're going to discuss project portfolio management or simply PPM. So this process helps organizations decide which project to prioritize, how to manage them, and how to track their performance. There are four key players in PPM, and each has specific responsibilities. So business unit or sponsor. So this is any part of the organization that proposes or supports a project. So they help with planning and ensuring the quality of data in the proposal. For example, the Department of Health proposes a project to hire more barangay health workers. Next key player is project manager. So this person handles the planning and execution of a project. So they make sure the project runs according to plan. For example, the HR manager becomes the project manager who plans and implements it. Third key is the project portfolio manager. So oversees the whole portfolio, not just one project. So they study all the proposed project and recommend which one to approve. Last key is the executive team. So the top level officers, they set goals, budgets, and strategies. They also ensure that project decisions are followed properly. For example, DBM or Malacanang approves the national health budget and monitors implementation. PPM follows three main phases: preparation, execution, and performance management. Let's go through them one by one. So, in the preparation phase, the organization creates a calendar, assigns responsibilities, sets strategic goals, defines value weights, risk, and budget. For example, in HR, so the HR sets goals like reducing turnover and improving employee engagement. So they plan budget for training and wellness. So in government setting, for example, DepEd sets a strategy to improve literacy. So budgets are allocated per region. In the execution phase, projects are categorized go or no go. Solutions are analyzed, timelines and budgets are finalized, projects are implemented. For in HR setting, for example, um, an online training program is selected instead of a face-to-face seminar to save costs. So in government setting, example, DPWH prioritized a flood-prone area for road construction after risk assessment. Finally, in the performance management phase, actual results are compared to expected outcomes. Discrepancies are investigated, lessons are recorded, the PPM process is updated for next year. For example, in HR setting, if the wellness program didn't improve productivity, HR may revise or replace it. In government setting example, so DOH evaluates health programs in the barangay and adjusts training in areas that underperform. So this graph shows how projects move through the project portfolio management cycle, and it's divided into three vertical levels and three horizontal phases. So at the top, we have the corporate management level. So this is where strategic decisions are made by executive leaders. So they set the company's or government's strategy, such as what the organization wants to achieve. They also set budget targets, value weights, and risk tolerance. So they help guide which projects will be approved and funded. For example, in government setting, this could be the national government setting goals like improving education or healthcare across the country. In the middle, we see the portfolio level. This is where project ideas are analyzed, compared, and selected. So portfolio managers look at all proposed projects. They evaluate, prioritize, and optimize which projects bring the most value. They also review the status of the projects during implementation and provide reports. This level also focuses on ongoing improvement to make better decisions in the next cycle. For example, in an HR setting, so the HR team might evaluate whether to prioritize training program, a wellness initiative, or a new payroll system based on cost, impact, and strategic goals. At the bottom, we have the project level. This is where the actual work begins. So project teams identify problems or opportunities like low employee engagement or poor road access. They create project concepts and proposals, which are then screened to make sure they are worth pursuing. So once approved, they begin executing the project. During and after execution, they monitor the benefits and reports the results. For example, in local government, a barangay might propose building a health center. After review and approval, they begin construction and later report how many residents benefited. Now, looking at the horizontal flow, the entire process follows three key phases: the preparation, execution, and performance management. So first is the preparation. So this is where strategies and budgets are set. On execution, this is where projects are evaluated, selected, and implemented. And on performance management, this is where results are reviewed and the process is improved for the next cycle. So this graph shows how project ideas flow from the ground level to the top level strategy and how decisions are made to ensure that the right projects are selected, funded, executed, and reviewed. It highlights the importance of coordination between all levels to make sure that projects truly supports the organization or the government's overall goals.
Let's move on to the business project proposal and its technical approach. So first, we have to define what is a project proposal. So a project proposal is a set of documents presented for assessment. It can be concise or extensive in format, so the format can be short or detailed, but what matters the most is to provide a complete and convincing details. So it should show all the project details and it aims to increase the chance of project success and attract investors. So a well-made project proposal increases the chance of project approval. So it shows why it is worth to invest to or why is it worth to support for. Next, to begin a proposal, you have to start with a broad problem description and present a clear project goals and solutions. It includes client needs and inspection procedures, and the proposal should begin by clearly describing the problem and the project to be done, and to offer a logical solution. It explains the problem, the goal, and how you will meet the standards. So how will you meet the standards? All required tests and inspections should be explained to show the quality, reliability, and compliance. Next, the planning time, cost, and material. So you have to be specific with your resources to keep the project on schedule and within the budget. It also includes preparing for the backup and contingency plans just in case things went south in the future while doing the actual process of the project. Then, without the backup plan, there is a high possibility that the project would bring up rising issues or problems that would lead for the project to fall or to fail. Next is showcasing capabilities. So it highlights the team's skills and experience. It includes special features such as tools and or tech, and explains how the project will be managed and describe how deliverables and reports are handled. So you must have the confidence to prove your team is skilled, equipped, and well prepared to handle the project. So in terms of managing changes, it is all about how you manage the changes during the project. In other words, how will you adapt in these changes? So make sure to be ready to handle unexpected changes and communicate properly. For example, planning for a budget increase due to inflation in a road repair project and informing the city council with updated documents. So you couldn't just barge and tell the person who approved the proposal empty-handed. Transparency avoids conflict and keeps trust. Lastly, you have to include the past experience and team details in your project proposal. So you have to describe the past project experience, list key personnel with their roles, attach resumes of team members, and boost credibility with qualifications and reference. So the right people, which are the trusted and qualified personnels, make a strong proposal even stronger. So now there is a suggested outline or a standard for a business project proposal. So the first one is the cover letter. A cover letter is a short letter that introduces your project in a simple and respectful way. So you have to use a simple technical language yet informative. It says what the project is all about, what is it for, and when or where it is being implemented. Next is the executive summary. It is a 1 to 2 pages synopsis of the project. It has broad description of the problem to be resolved or project to be done. It also have the main subsystems of problem or project. So example of this is a 1 to 2 pages summary explaining the plan to create a new waste collection system in the municipality. So it includes why it is needed, how it will be done, the cost, and its benefit to the public cleanliness and health. In approach to the problem or how to approach solution of technical problem, you have to show first the methodology of resolving the problem. So you have to describe the action plan or process, mention tools, technology, or partnership involved, justify why this approach is effective, and relate it to the goals of your organization or something like that, to show that you have a logical, realistic way to solve the problem. Next is the plan for implementation of the project. So this part includes the project schedule, cost estimates, materials, manpower, and timelines. So you have to be specific and realistic. So break the project into phases or tasks, provide start and end dates, include a budget or cost breakdown, and list resources like staff, equipment, and materials. This is to present a clear and detailed plan for how the project will be done. Next is the logistics support and administrative plan. So it explains how the project will be monitored, managed, and adjusted if needed. So this section also includes how reports will be submitted and how communication will be handled. So it describes how the team will oversee the project, mention how updates will be reported. So example of this is monthly or annual reports, and explain how changes or problems will be handled, and include contact persons and coordination plans. So this is to prove that the project is organized and will be properly supervised. Lastly is the team experience. So this presents the qualifications and background of the people involved in the project. So it shows they are capable and experienced. So you have to list the names, roles, and relevant experience. It includes academic or professional credentials, add resumes or profiles if needed, and mention successful projects that the team has completed before. This is to build trust by showing that the team is skilled and reliable, and also well prepared. So that's all. Thank you for listening.